Someone not named Juwan Jennings just might be holding in right now. What's up? Welcome to a very special edition of LaCohn and LaRocca. That's Tyler LaRocca. I'm Grant Cohn. The Niners have the day off today, and they have their first joint practice of the offseason. It's against Denver. It's tomorrow. So this week is critical. We're going to learn a lot, and we're going to talk about a certain someone who may be holding in, may not be. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out tomorrow. And we're going to talk about salary cap and why the Niners aren't using their cap space, and Sean Payton, how he evaluates his quarterbacks. Also, some very interesting news about the Rams in the division, how it affects the 49ers. But let's start with the depth chart. The Niners released one. They always release one, the week of their first preseason game. And it's put together by the PR staff, but it is informed heavily by the coaching staff. And if there was a glaring mistake, the coaching staff would say, hey, don't do that. So why don't we look at what it actually is?
Yep.
See what we notice. We got Juwan Jennings starting, so I guess, they expect he's coming back. Ricky Pearsall also starting. Barch. Brock Purdy is not competing with Mac Jones, officially.
I thought, who is Carter Bradley, by the way?
That's Gus Bradley's son.
I have not heard his name yet, like literally ever.
We got Mykel Williams starting. Kevin Givens is starting, but he has a torn pectoral muscle out to like mid-season. So that sort of means that based on this depth chart, the next man up would be Kalia Davis, maybe out of respect because he's a veteran, and then CJ West. CJ West been getting reps with the starters in team drills at camp. I think it's maybe not a foregone conclusion, but I think he's probably the leader in the clubhouse to start at left defensive tackling in place of Givens.
Yeah, that or Alfred Collins. I could see them throwing Alfred Collins there too.
I think the left defensive tackle spot and the right defensive tackle spot are going to be a little different. I think the left defensive tackle spot is more in the A gap, like inside shoulder of the guard, maybe more against the nose tackle, and the other guy is more the three technique outside shoulder of the guard. So I feel like the big bodies are out there: Jordan Elliott, Alfred Collins. Maybe I'm wrong. We don't really know what. I guess we'll find out on Saturday, but we don't really know what kind of fronts he's going to use. But I think they're going to go with someone smaller, stouter. I'm telling you, I bet you it's going to be Mykel Williams, CJ West, Jordan Elliott, and Nick Bosa, and they're gonna blame Collins missing minicamp and OTAs for why he's not starting, but he'll be starting by like week 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. Then we got the linebackers, and they seriously have Luke Gifford starting. He's taken all the first team reps at Sam linebacker, and I don't know if they're serious about this.
I don't know.
He's big. Let me see. What is his size? He's a way different body type than Nick Martin. So he's 6'3", 245.
Yeah, I feel like
that's almost an edge rusher.
I feel like they mainly run linebacker, like 2 dual linebacker setups. So I feel like he still won't be doing much.
I think I tweeted yesterday that it's only a matter of time before Nick Martin takes a spot, but I think there's a possibility that Saleh wants to have the flexibility to move into a 5-man front when he needs to, because that wide 9 gets gashed by the run by certain teams. And I think to do that, you could bring in a third defensive tackle, or you could just move your strong side linebacker on the line of scrimmage and have him set the edge. And having 5'11", 215-pound Nick Martin do that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But having 6'3", 245 Luke Gifford, at least fits the profile.
Yeah, it fits the bill a little bit better.
Yeah.
Renardo's starting
because I don't know how good he is. Like, he could get totally destroyed in coverage he might be good as a run defender, but I don't know how he's going to do in coverage. We'll see. Yeah. Anyone else there? They got Curtis Robinson behind him and Chas. See, they don't even have. These guys are smaller. D. Winters, Nick Martin, Jalen Graham. These are all like borderline strong safeties. Yeah. Curtis Robinson's bigger. Chas Surratt's bigger. Tatum Bethune. Anyway.
We really need to stay healthy. That's all I'm going to say.
That doesn't help.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, wait, I realized I didn't see Equanimous on our wide receiver chart.
Oh, wait a second. He's over here. He's hanging out. He's behind Tariq
Oh,
Owens.
dang, he's far
Russell
back there.
Gage having a good camp.
Beast. I love seeing
Isaac
Jordan
Orlando hurt.
Watkins.
Patrick Taylor Jr. is actually having a good camp. I don't know if you've seen him, but he looks way different. People who, football players who remake their body in an offseason, this guy, he's jacked.
I like
Absolutely jacked.
I like seeing Jordan Watkins competing with that second spot behind Ricky. I like that. I want Jordan Watkins to play so bad.
Absolutely. He's sort of like neck and neck, huh?
He's our Tyreek Hill.
I wouldn't be surprised if in a year or two, Jordan Watkins and Ricky Pierce are the starting wide receivers.
Yeah, when they trade BA. Yeah, I agree.
And Jennings leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennings might leave sooner than we think.
Trey Brown as a starting nickelback is just fiction.
Yeah.
He hasn't taken a rep with the starters at nickelback in weeks.
I feel like Upton Stout will definitely be the starting nickelback come week 1. That would be my assumption.
Marquise Siegel is apparently the backup free safety behind Jason Pinnock. That's interesting. I didn't realize. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I like it. I think it's really interesting that Michael is the starter over Bryce Huff. I think that's the only surprise I really have on our depth chart. I thought Bryce Huff was coming in to be the starter.
Yeah. I would.
He was.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. No, I don't think Bryce Huff's going to play because the whole thing with this reformation of the defense is Saleh's trying to improve the run defense. So Bryce Huff can't start.
Yeah,
he's a third down guy. But I don't think Trey Brown needs to make this team. I think Upton Stout's a nickel and the backup nickel's Lenore, and that allows you to keep guys like Dallas Flowers and
Apple
and Jacob Robinson. They got to be careful with Jacob Robinson, man. If he has a good preseason and they try to sneak him onto the practice squad, he just might get picked up by another team because he's having a great camp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we're thin at corner, man. This just reading all these corners kind of scares me. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, reading our every position on defense, we're pretty thin. We are, especially with all the injuries we have going on right now. We are a thin bunch on the defensive end.
Yeah. Well, that's the depth chart. I mean, it's not that controversial. There's nothing really.
Yeah, there's nothing really crazy about it. I like that. I like seeing rookies on a Kyle Shanahan depth chart be first or second options. I even like that Junior Bergen is technically higher for now than Chosen and Hodgins for now. But yeah, it's nothing too exciting here. It's what we pretty much. I mean, you could have predicted. Besides, I guess Upton Stout not being the nickelback, but I think we all are assuming that he's going to be.
Yeah, there's some absolute fiction here. Upton Stout is the starting nickelback. I think CJ West, now that Givens is done, is probably the starting nose tackle, if we want to call him that. Luke Gifford, we'll see. We'll see about Luke. And then Trey Brown, yeah, forget him. Jair Brown is the last one. Is he really going to start? He's been hurt on and off all offseason. Richie Grant's been out there. He has starting experience too. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Richie Grant. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like if Jair's healthy, they'll keep him out there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him getting swapped in and out, especially if he, say they do start him week 1, just out of respect, and he, gets blown by. I feel like he could get yanked real quick.
Okay, here's some interesting news. Last year, the league tallied up all the money teams made on ticket sales in 2024. And the 49ers made $176 million in ticket revenue alone while going 6-11. The second highest grossing team in ticket sales was the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. They went 7-10, $136 million. Niners, $176 million. Number 3, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles at $130 million. So while people do like a champion, they also like a dramatic. They like a dramatic. Not I'm going to say a mess because that's the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a dramatic mess that's going nowhere and has really, really embraced mediocrity. The Niners seem to have eclipsed the Cowboys as America's team in certain ways. What do you
in
think?
every way. Yeah, we're America's team. It's been obvious. Cowboys ain't done nothing in 20 years. Longer than
Neither
that,
of the
30
Niners,
years.
though. They've just come closer to doing something.
We've been to a Super Bowl. We actually have won technically we've won championships, NFC
Don't you
championships.
sound like Jed York? You sound like Jed York.
So,
Don't do that.
so yeah, we are America's
Technically,
team. If any Cowboys fans want to argue it, check ticket sales, ticket revenue, and get your bread up.
what? Okay, so there's one thing. They charge a lot for the tickets for these in Santa Clara. I bet it's much more expensive to go to a game in Northern California than Texas. But I also feel like there's something about the San Francisco 49ers. People love talking about them. People are very aware of them because Kyle Shanahan's been here for they've been a group of players and coaches that have been here for a long time. And I feel like a lot of people are invested in their story, whether they are pulling for them to get over the hump or laughing at them for not being able to do so. They're a very intriguing team.
Well, I'll also say this. Let's be real. And this is not even me just trying to be biased. I feel like Niners fans travel better than any other fan base in the league. Whenever you see Niners fans at away games, it is like a sea of red. Always,
especially when the Niners are good. They often outnumber the home team fans.
Yeah, we are. I genuinely do think we are America's team. Like, I think we are by far and away the most popular. Like, we just travel the best. We have the best fans.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think they've become the America's team in a lot of ways? What is it about them?
Honestly, I think it's the Warriors' resurgence. Because I feel like even when we were great in 2012, whatever, and we were super exciting because of Colin Kaepernick, we never traveled this well. But I feel like you have so many more Bay Area fans just in general because of Steph Curry and the Warriors. They're like, oh yeah, if I watch football, I'm going to be the Warriors team's team. So I think it's a mix of everything. I think it's just Bay Area sports, period, got more popular.
Isn't there something else to the point Kansas City isn't even top 5? They've been winning so much. I think when a team wins a lot, sometimes during the moment, maybe not, but America hates that team. They're boring. You got to go. And I think with the Cowboys and the Niners the last 30 years, they haven't won shit. I
also think it's the Chiefs were. I feel like the Seahawks had the same issue, and this isn't just because I don't like the Seahawks. I think when you're a team, right, that's starts off as an underdog story and you win, and it's oh God, that's so cool. But then you start noticing the NFL likes the underdog story. So whenever you go to Arrowhead or whenever you went to Seattle during the Legion of Boom, they got the most ridiculous whistle. And then the underdog story stops being cute and fun, and it starts being all right, we're really inflating this.
But don't the Niners benefit from underdog status a lot of the time? They go to the Super Bowl and oh my God, they got to face Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah,
how can they do this? And then their quarterback's Mr. Irrelevant. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I think the Niners do as well. I think that's why people love the Niners, right? You have so much glory and history in the past. Can they ever get back to it? Oh, they have Mr. Irrelevant. I think the same thing with Steph Curry. No one wanted this guy. He was so small and always hurt. And it's Bay Area sports just has right
this
now
underdog mentality, right? We're not LA. No one cares about us.
Yeah, it's they just. Yeah, they really do have the best stories in sports if you think about it.
We're a big market and a small market team at the same time.
Yeah, it's dude, everything, and people have so much pride. I feel from the Bay Area, everyone that's from there has so much pride about it. So you see it and you're damn, I kind of want to be from the Bay. And so then you have all these people that are oh yeah, I want to be in the Bay Area. And so it's just, I think it's a mix of all of that.
It's just funny how Boston's like that too in a way, kind of in New York's shadow. And for 20 years, the Patriots were kind of America's team.
Yeah,
but not really, because everyone hated the Patriots and knew that they were shady and that it was basically a Tom Brady production. And as soon as he left, that organization is boring and no one cares about the New England Patriots at all.
Yep.
No one cares. Drake May, who cares?
Yeah, and I think it's just, and honestly, I just think it also just comes down to I think it just, there's so many things, and I think it just comes down to the history of the org, and then the storylines. When you start winning too much, Kansas City, and it's just the market, right? Kansas City's a small market. You're not going to get a bunch of Chiefs fans out of nowhere. Whereas in NorCal, there's already so many people there. It's so heavily populated. You'll have the LA Fairweather fans like, oh yeah, I'm from Cali. I'm a Niner fan now. Like, so it's just, you have so much more of a market out there that can make it like America's team and inflate it to be America's team.
Also, I think there's something else too, like something that the Niners benefit from and that the Cowboys benefit from, like geographical distance. Like in the Midwest and the East Coast, all those teams are next to each other.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
But the Cowboys are the only team that really matters in the South. Kinda. I mean,
yeah,
and the Niners are the only team that really matters on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, you see it all.
Fan base by far.
I grew up in Southern California. Anytime the Niners were good, my like buddy and I that were like actually Niners fans from the Bay Area would be like, oh yeah, here it comes. All the Chargers fans are going to become Niners fans this year. And without fail, everyone that was a Chargers fan the year before was now a Niner fan. And they were like, oh my God, like repping Cali. And so it's like, what you said. I guarantee it's the same thing in Texas for the most part. Like Texans fans will, if the Cowboys are good, well, I mean, we are technically from Texas, so I am a Cowboy fan too.
Here's what's weird about this. Then we'll move on about this $176 million in revenue, 40 million more than the next team, and the next team being the Cowboy. Great for the Niners. Wow.
Yeah.
Business is booming. And yet, after they made this 176 million, they sold what? Almost 10% of their team.
Yeah.
And now they have 45 million in cap space that they're not using. Does that confuse you? I mean, should they explain this to their fans? Hey, thanks for spending all this money on tickets when we went 6-11, and we're going to reward you with slashing spending.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't understand what's going on. Like, it seems like Jed York's being punished, but in turn, the entire fan base is being punished. Because like, man, I wish the Niners would have like tried to make a splash this offseason. Like, dude, even try and get Micah. Like, you have, like, it would be a complete insane waste of money. But, you're making it. So come on, let's get some drama. Let's get Hard Knocks over. Let's just keep maximizing revenue.
All right, let me tell you this. So I've been vexed all offseason about the Niners cap space. I'm like, how can you not use it? Why is it more important to roll over cap space to next year when Trent Williams will be 38 than making a run when Trent Williams is 37?
Yeah.
And admittedly, I'm not good with salary cap stuff or numbers and stuff. I worked hard to pass my AP calculus test in high school, so I never had to take a math class in college, and I was successful. So it's been a while. Yeah. But it's come to my attention that the Niners have $9 million in cap space for 2026. But it gets worse because they only have 46 players under cap with that $9 million in cap space. So they're going to have to put a team together next year. Yeah. And it's going to be tough to do so without cap space. They can always roll over the 45 million they have now, which seems to be their plan. So if that's the state of things, that like they have this cap space that they don't really have because they need it for next year so that they can put together a team and not have cap space next year either after they do that, are the Niners already in salary cap hell?
I wouldn't say salary cap. The way I think of salary cap hell is the Saints, where you're like in debt for a decade, and you're constantly negative. I don't think the Niners are in salary cap hell. I think they're in budget mode now, right? Like they took the shot, they shelled out a ton of cash. Like we need to get the Super Bowl. They didn't draft well. They didn't have first round picks. So unlike the Eagles, they couldn't just be like, all right, well, you know what, Javon Hargrave, we're going to let you go and we're just going to take Jalen Carter. Like, we're just going to kind of have faith that, he's got it. And you know what, CJ Gardner-Johnson, like, we're going to let you go because we got Cooper DeJean and,
right.
Quinyon Mitchell. So we're going to let Darius Slay go too. Like, we don't have that luxury right now. So I think, right now it's just, they're kind of in limbo. I wouldn't say they're in like salary cap hell. I'd say they're more in like, we really need our rookies to pay off or this team's going to look rough.
Yeah. It seems to me that their Super Bowl window closed last year, which is why they were so aggressive bringing in any free agent they could, Leonard Floyd, because it was the last year that Brock was going to be cheap.
Yeah.
It was the last year before they had to start really, really budgeting for him.
Yeah.
And now, even though his cap number isn't that big this year, they're clearly budgeting for him now and in the future. And They have a whole different roster construction. It seems like if their Super Bowl window were to open again, it wouldn't be because of this current core that they have. It would be because 2, 3, 4 players on rookie deals all of a sudden are playing at like a Pro Bowl level.
Yeah.
Just like Philly right now, you have Cooper DeJean and Jalen Carter and
like people make it sound impossible. Philly showed us last year, like it's not. You can genuinely have rookies that are just like incredibly like performing at an incredibly high level, and you don't need to like necessarily stress it. Like I'm not worried about it because I do think our rookies are good and I trust Saleh. But yeah, that's why I've always thought like this cap space is more of a mid-season. Let's see where we're at. If we're in position to take a shot, let's take a shot. If not, let's just roll it over and see what we got. I've kind of felt that way the whole time. Unless like someone like T. Higgins was available, because apparently the Niners were kind of like semi-aggressive trying to talk to T. Higgins at like the draft and stuff like that. Like they were talking a lot about him. But yeah, I think they saw the free agents this year and they're just like, yeah, nah, there's just nothing that's really worth potentially being in salary cap hell for. And I think that's the big thing is like, they want, if they're going to sign someone, they have to be worth being in salary cap hell.
And remember, they have $9 million in cap space so far for 2026 with 46 players under contract. Yeah. One guy who won't be under contract in 2026 is Colton McKivitz. I think they'd like to have him back, but Caleb McGarry, who's about as good as him, just signed a 2-year, $30 million contract. I don't think the Niners want to give him a 2-year, $30 million contract, or else they probably give it to him right now. So they're going to have to probably draft a right tackle and hope that Trent Williams doesn't retire and stays healthy, all that stuff. I don't know. It seems like that's probably why they're holding onto their cap space, because they might have to sign Colton depending on where they land in the draft.
I also think it just truly depends on this year, right? Like I think they'll be a lot more willing to be in salary cap hell if this year pays off. Say that rookies go off and they are all like insanely good players, again, like the Eagles, and they go, you know what? Yeah, we say they go to the Super Bowl again this year, or they just make a deep run in the playoffs, and it's like, damn, like with these rookies, like this team's legit. I think they'll be a little bit more willing to spend. But I think right now they really just want to see what they have. Like, is it worth spending on, or are we in a rebuild? I think that's kind of the question around the building.
All right, let me ask a question about Jauan Jennings. He wants one of two things. He wants an extension. He wants a trade. One of two. So far, the Niners are always choosing door 3, which is nothing. And so he has a calf injury, allegedly. I'm guessing he's holding in, which is fine. That's what I would do. So my question is, should they pay him, give him a raise? I felt that way at first. I think you were against it. And now the more I feel about it, it's like, I like Jauan and I root for him and I want him to be, happy and stuff. But I don't think it's probably a smart move from the org. I don't think the Niners have to do this.
No,
I don't think they have to give him a raise.
I genuinely think, again, because there is a couple options. He could be holding in. He could be holding in, or he could be actually dealing with calf injury. I will say this. If he does have a slight calf injury, because we obviously don't know, even if it's like a light one where it's like it's just kind of bothering him, but it's kind of a hold in, kind of a calf injury, I am not signing him. I am not paying him a dime. I will not do that, because that's an Achilles tear waiting to happen, man. And
if he is holding in, would you reward him?
I like Jauan. I wouldn't be mad at signing him. But personally, if I was John Lynch, I would have traded him pre-training camp. But I'd trade him as soon as possible. I'd trade him. I'd get another solid Jauan-like piece in return. And, dude, I just move on. Again, like you said, we don't have McKivitz next year. So even if McKivitz's goal is to be a Pro Bowl right tackle, what if he is? What if he does turn up this year and he's a Pro Bowl right tackle and we sign Jauan? Well, now we definitely don't have the money to sign McKivitz.
I mean, the options are give Jauan what he wants, but I don't think that's a smart move. I don't think it's good business. The other option is trade him, which they haven't done yet. And the third option is, I wonder if the Niners are flirting with it, just sort of force Juwan to come back and play out his contract. Like, look, dude, you don't have the leverage you thought. You got one more year with us. We're going to throw you the ball a lot, and then you can hit free agency next year and see what you got.
Yeah.
You could try that, but that's what they did to Trevarius Ward last year, right? Hey, man, you want an extension? Tough. You're not getting one. No offer. What are you going to do? Play. And he did, but his heart wasn't in it, and he didn't play that well. And yeah, that hurt him, but it also hurt the 49ers. Is it smart to sort of force Juwan Jennings to come back and potentially play if his heart isn't in it? Or is it better to just trade him?
And that's my thing, right? Is like with these situations, it's hard because it is a business on both ends, right? Like technically, right. And that's the issue with contracts, man, is if it's a 5-year contract, it's not. It's a 4-year contract because the player is going to hold out in the 4th year. And it is obnoxious. And that's the only time I ever side with an organization. It's like, dude, these contracts are like always a year shorter than they actually are. But yeah, dude, if I was the Niners, man, I would just trade him. I just go to Washington, say, listen, you don't want to pay Terry. Mm-hmm. I would work with Terry's agent, say, we're only willing to offer you like a 2-year deal at the rate you want to be paid. We'll give you like a 2-year deal at that payment. And I would positions the Commanders to sign a solid receiver for Jaden Daniels at a cheaper price. If I was them, I'd just take a swing or just trade them for draft picks. If you're really that worried, trade them for picks. Because I think from what I've heard and seen, Ricky Pearsall looks like he could slot into the Juwan Jennings role. Like he's not as physical, but
what if Jennings comes back after missing all the training camp, allegedly having a calf injury, and Pearsall's better than him, Kittle's better than him? What if Robinson is better than him? What if he falls to 5th in the pecking order after Christian McCaffrey? What did Juwan Jennings? What were his numbers 2 years ago?
Yeah, they're pretty low.
Juwan Jennings had 19 catches 2 years ago. What if he has 30 catches this year? You think he's going to be happy about that before he goes into training camp, before he goes into free agency? I'm not comparing him to Devondre Campbell, but we saw what happened last year to a guy who feels slighted, not taken care of by the team. It was Devondre, it was Trevarius. I think it's more bad than good to have a guy who doesn't want to be on the team.
I agree.
On the team. He doesn't want to be on the team. If you're going to force him to be here, just trade him, man. Trade him for someone who does want to be on the team or a pick.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've worked so hard building this new offseason culture with Saleh and Kyle and this whole like, listen, we're not the shit anymore. Like we got to actually get to work and stop messing around, stop having drama, stop thinking we're going to be able to walk in with missing a training camp and just be the best again. Juwan, again, and I love Juwan, he is not good enough to miss training camp. He had one good year, and again, albeit he had a great postseason in 2023. You don't have that much leverage in my mind. Receivers for Kyle Shanahan are a dime a dozen, man, unless you're like a Brandon Ayuk. Like, they really are. I think Kyle can make something out of nothing with look at Russell Gage is having an amazing camp. DeMarcus Robinson's having an amazing camp. Jordan Watkins is having an amazing camp. Like, I don't know where or who in his camp is telling him he has all of this leverage to like ask for like a Cooper Kupp contract. Like, bro, Cooper Kupp has had MVP seasons. You had an almost 1,000-yard season. Like,
one time. He didn't even have a 1,000-yard season in college.
Yeah,
I would trade him. The only problem is that DeMarcus Robinson is going to get suspended. If he wasn't going to get suspended, I would have traded him yesterday. But they could. I mean, if they don't have Robinson or Jennings or Ayuk, then their starting wide receivers week 1 could be Pearsall and Gage or Pearsall and Watkins. And I like Watkins, but how many mistakes is he going to make week 1? How many plays is he going to hear wrong in the huddle in Seattle? I don't know.
But here's my thing.
One thing Juwan's got going for him.
But this is my thing for anybody that's
you got Seattle and the Superdome back to back week 1. Too.
I mean, Saints are awful, but
dude, everyone's
like. Here's the thing: for everyone that's a huge Purdy's a top 5 guy, I wouldn't want to hear it. Why can't he? He still has the best tight end in the NFL. He still has a great running back and run game. He still has Trent Williams. And then yes, will you have some scrubs? Let's just call them at wide receiver 3. Sure. You're getting paid $53 million. I don't care. It's Seattle and the Saints. If you can't compete with those teams without Jawan Jennings, then we should never have given you a dime. Period.
Russell Gage seems solid. John Kamen, new member. Thank you, John. Josh Wyatt says the juice move reveals the truth. They wasted a bunch of cap space. They could have rolled over to save $1 million. The money's going to soccer. Okay, hold on. I'm still trying to figure out the soccer angle. Is it possible that the Niners are looking at the NFL and saying, man, these player contracts are exploding. Quarterbacks are so expensive. Defensive ends are so expensive. The amount of money we have to spend yearly on players is going like this, whereas like the ticket revenue is more going like is it possible they feel
our ticket revenue
what they spend is outpacing what's coming in, and so to sort of like make up the difference, they have to invest in all these other teams? I don't know. Or maybe they're just losing interest in football. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they're just diversifying because, bro, soccer is absurdly expensive. It's not like they're going to like pickleball. They're going to soccer. Like soccer is one of the most expensive sports to get into. To compete at the top level in soccer is stupid. It makes football look cheap. And it's not like Leeds has a stadium that's number 1 in ticket revenue.
No, so they actually are going to renovate that one. And that's where a lot of the money is going to come out of their pocket, renovating that stadium.
So I don't know. I don't think it has.
They're also renovating Levi's this year for the Super Bowl, which they're going to play in for sure against Trey Lance and the Chargers.
No, like I genuinely think I don't think it has anything to do with soccer. I genuinely think it's just we're just getting to that point, dude. It's a Super Bowl team that's just they paid so much money, they didn't win anything, and they're like, all right, well, we need to kind of reassess.
Joseph Ernberg says should have pursued a running back in free agency. Old CMC and soft Isaac.
Disagree. I think Patrick Taylor and Jordan James and even Corey Kiner look good.
I'm curious to see about Patrick Taylor Jr. I didn't think much of him last year. I was team Jordan Mason. But now I feel like Taylor's quietly had a terrific offseason. He's missed no days, and he is so much bigger than the other running backs. Like he makes Jordan James and Corey Kiner look little, and he's not just like a big, powerful back. He's also a pretty good receiver too. I'm curious to see who looks in preseason.
That's the one thing I love about Kyle Shanahan is I never worry about skill positions. I just don't. Like his scheme is so good for a skill position player. Like if you ever want a payday, you'd want to come to the Niners.
Yeah, but whenever he drafts a running back, he gets it wrong. And the latest one, Isaac Guerrero, another Kyle Shanahan special, hurt. So that's a big one. And Pearsall is a Kyle Shanahan special as well. Kyle's much better at wide receiver than he is at running back. But this guy's got some injury issues.
He can make every running back he has successful. That's the crazy part is this dude will be down to his 5th string running back, and they're still averaging like 5 yards a carry somehow. It's like, dude.
And they traded up for Guerrero, man. He always does this. He gets so excited. Alejandro Buenrostro says, trade him, go in with the other wide receivers, see what we got.
I agree. I'm with you.
Okay, I've been teasing this all show. Let's talk about another 49ers player who's potentially holding in. We know, well, Jawan Jennings could be holding in. He has a calf injury, but he also has a grievance and an ultimatum he made to the 49ers. There's another player who's at practice, on the field, seemingly healthy. The team says he's healthy, but he hasn't practiced since Friday. And his name, do you know who I'm talking about?
Nicholas John Bosa.
Nicholas John Bosa the first. Okay. He was at practice on Friday. What he did was he whooped Colton McKivitz's booty repeatedly.
Maybe it's just
in
too
a way
easy.
that I haven't seen Nick. Like he went out of his way to go up against Colton McKivitz every rep when Trent Williams was on the other side and just win in 11-on-11s. Every play started with Bosa beating McKivitz, tapping Purdy on the shoulder, Purdy moving up in the pocket and finishing the play. So I don't know what kind of statement he was trying to make. The next day, not practicing. The next day, day off for the whole team. The next day, not practicing. Kyle, what's up? Oh, it's nothing. It's a vet day. He'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow was yesterday. Yesterday, not practicing. Today, day off.
Yeah.
He could be hurt, but they said he's not. And he's out there going through the motions of his pass rush drills in a sweatsuit, not looking hurt. They said he's took a rest day. Man, that's a lot of rest for a 27-year-old
Yeah, I mean,
Is it
my thing,
possible that Nick Bosa is holding in for more money?
I don't think so. I think he's getting paid very well, and I think he still is. If he's holding in with 3 years left on his contract, bro, trade him and get
Let
Micah.
me tell you, let me just paint the picture. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because he just signed his extension 2 years ago. He's got a lot of years left on his deal. But like you said, just because it's a 5 year deal doesn't mean it's a 5 year deal. For a lot of people, they renegotiate with 1 year left on it. But for
Yep.
the best of the best, they often renegotiate when the guaranteed money is up. And with Bosa, he's got guaranteed money this year and next year.
Yeah.
Next year is the last year that he could get guaranteed money. After that, none left. So to me, it seems like it's likely that he would want to renegotiate next year.
Okay.
I think the Niners are prepared for that. But what if he says, you know what? Why wait till next year? What if he says, why wait till next year? I want the raise now because I'm making $34 million a year, which is good. When you extended me, it made me the highest paid non-quarterback. Now I'm the 7th highest paid non-quarterback. Freaking TJ Watt's getting $41 million a year. And you know what? I'm better than TJ Watt.
I'd
I'm better
say
than TJ Watt.
I would say, okay, hold on, and then I'd call Jerry Jones and say,
Hold
hey,
on. Hold on. Before you say what you would say in response, do you think it's plausible at all that Bosa and his team are like, you know what? Let's not wait till next year. Let's do this right now.
So my thing with the Bosa brothers is they're very upfront when they want their cash. So I don't think so because they are not shy of saying, I want to get paid. Like Joey literally was like, I know I'm going to the Bills because I want more money. Like whenever they are negotiating, you know they're negotiating. They make it very obvious that they are negotiating. So, in my opinion, it's more likely that they're trying to hide some sort of injury,
Hmm.
or he's just, maybe he's like sick or something. He's just not practicing, and he's like, just resting. But because if he was renegotiating right now, I would be mind blown. Like, I would truly be so surprised. That'd be insane. Like, I'd understand again next year, like you said. Like, all right, I don't have any more guaranteed money next year. I need my cash. But like how Trent did. But if he was negotiating 2 years out for it and was like, hey, I know you guys have just paid Fred and George and Purdy and
Mm-hmm.
Jawan's holding in, but I
Mm-hmm.
want to add to that. I feel like that's just asking to get traded. Like in my opinion, it's literally just
They
asking
can't
to
trade
get
Nick
traded.
Bosa.
Yeah, you can. Micah Parsons is available. I'd literally be like,
If they
hey,
were to trade Nick Bosa for Michael Parsons, guess what they'd have to do for Michael
yeah,
Parsons?
exactly. But I would. I'd say, okay, I'll give him an extension. He's younger than you. He's more athletic than you. Sure, is he as good? He's better at zone reads than you because it doesn't take much. It takes Helen Keller could be better at zone reads than you. So yeah, he might be not as strong.
Hey, can I say
But
something real quick?
yeah,
I would also trade Nick Bosa for Michael Parsons.
yeah. Why wouldn't I?
If the
Like,
if the option is give Nick Bosa a raise or trade
yeah.
Nick Bosa for Michael Parsons and give him the extension he wants, I would trade Nick Bosa for Michael Parsons and give him the extension
In
he
a
wants.
heartbeat, I would
Yeah,
literally just call him, hey, Jerry, you know how you don't want to spend a ton of money, like 40 something $1 million? Yeah, we will. So give us Micah. We'll give you Nick. He's
yeah,
cheaper. Have fun. And
yeah. Nick will
then,
fit right in out there. He would be
oh,
perfect for that
dude, he would
culture.
be perfect for
They
Texas.
love him in Dallas.
Him and Abbott would be like hugging the second he touched down in Dallas. He'd
Oh
love
my
it out here.
goodness.
Like,
Hey man,
yeah,
here's the thing. I don't know if he's holding it or not, but I feel like I don't.
it would be a ridiculous hold in.
He might be hurt, but Kyle said he's not. And it's one thing to like be like, I don't want to talk about that. It's none of your business. And it's nothing to lie. And coaches usually don't lie because it's the truth's going to come out eventually and it doesn't make the organization look good to just lie. So they said he's not hurt. They said it's a rest day. Look, if he's out there tomorrow against the Broncos, then maybe it was a whole bunch of nothing. Although I just don't understand how you could be that tired to need 4 days of rest. But you know what? I guess we'll see tomorrow. Do
Maybe
you
he's
think he'll be out there
partying.
tomorrow?
I think he will.
I
I
think he
think he
will
will.
too, but if he's not, to me, that's the indicator. If he's not out there tomorrow and he's not going to practice and he's not going to play in the game against then that's like now you haven't practiced in more than a week. What now you're either hurt and they're lying or there's
You're
something
holding
going
it.
else on because no
Yeah.
one needs more than a week of rest.
Yeah, no, I agree. And maybe it is rest. Maybe because he doesn't usually do off seasons with us. He usually does the off seasons at home with Joey. maybe he's just like, all right, I just need to give my body like some time to recover. Maybe that is
I
it,
don't know.
and we're overthinking it.
Maybe
I don't
I
know.
like to overthink things, but that Friday practice, he made a statement being the best. Like, hey guys, does everyone see how good I am still? I'm the best player on the field, right? Right, right.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he's out. And it's like, but he's not just out. He's on the field. And it's like he's doing it not just for his team, but for the media too. Like, guys, watch me win. And then the next day, watch me warm up. I'm in my sweatsuit. I'm doing my pass rush. I look healthy, right? I look good, right? They say I'm healthy, right?
Yeah.
So what am I trying to tell you?
Yeah.
What am I trying to tell you?
That would be weird. Like, I'd genuinely be confused if he was hold. I feel like the issue though is if he did try and hold out, like he wouldn't have fan support this time. Last time he had fan support because everyone's like, I mean,
Which
dude,
is why he might not say anything. This might be some quiet stuff.
yeah. I
Hey, I'm
mean,
not
I
going to
guess
say
we'll
anything.
see. Could you imagine tomorrow comes out like Niners renegotiated Nick Bosa's contract? Like, wow.
Wow, that was quick. I don't
I
see
mean,
what choice they have, man.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
They can't win without him.
Yeah, you'd have to trade him for Micah or sign him.
Yeah,
Like those would be
yeah.
literally your only two options at that point. You're not
And
going in.
does he seem like the kind of guy who wouldn't flex his leverage out of the goodness of his heart? I mean, if he thinks he's underpaid, which technically he is, technically on the open market, if he were a free agent right now, some team would give him $40 million a year, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
So out of the goodness of his heart, would he play for less because he loves the 49ers and he's a captain and a team player? Or is he the kind of guy who's like, I love playing for the team as long as I'm properly compensated?
Yeah, Nick is all about his bag. The Bosa's all.
Yeah.
Period.
He's not like Fred Warner or George Kittle or like whatever. He just has more earning power than them.
I mean, yeah, Kittle, I wouldn't say did that. He's still got the biggest type of contract. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, if I was the Niners, I would waste no time. All right, you want to go? Okay, cool. I'm calling the Cowboys, and we're gonna see what we can do.
But do you think the Cowboys would want to give Bosa the contract they don't want to give Parsons?
No, but that's what I'm saying is they could be like, all right, well, you're here. We'll offer you more guaranteed money on the back end of your deal. We're not going to give you an extension, but we'll offer you more money. They save money. And hell yeah, I'd pay Micah Parsons $40 million on the Niners. So
something to monitor. Is Nick Bosa going to be on the field tomorrow? Okay,
yeah,
let's talk Sean Payton's method of evaluating quarterbacks. This is really interesting. There was a great article in ESPN by Seth Wickersham where he goes through Sean Payton's method. And like, it's the most important position. It's got the most scrutiny of any position. They get paid more than anyone else. You'd think that a multi-billion dollar organization like the NFL would have good quarterback scouting, but it doesn't. No one knows really what to freaking look for in these guys. So Sean Payton has come up with his own method, and instead of looking at really the guys' best plays, what they can do, what their physical attributes are, it's all about the negative plays. Yeah. How often a quarterback makes a negative play. And he defines negative plays as interceptions, fumbles, and sacks, all weighted equally. And he takes your number of dropbacks and he takes your numbers of your negative plays, those three things, and just what's your percentage?
Yep. And then adds the percentage, and that's your score.
And what he's looking for is how quickly and how accurately do you process, not how safe for you. But the idea is if you really are reacting quickly and know what you're seeing, you shouldn't have a ton of negative plays.
And the funny thing is, so seeing this, naturally, I went in and started digging in some of these Sean Payton scores. And there was like interesting things coming out around the draft that like Sean Payton didn't have any interest in Caleb Williams, like at all. Even if he was available, Sean Payton was like, Bo Nix would still have been my guy probably. And it is interesting because the Sean Payton score for Caleb Williams was in the article, they say it was like 17.5. So in my opinion, if you're Sean Payton, my guess is he looked at him as undraftable. Like there's no way in hell I am grabbing this quarterback. And then
because it's sort of the antithesis, right? Like Caleb Williams has a lot of good plays that he makes, right? His highlight reel is super fun to watch, but there's also a lot of bad plays.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative
sacks he creates on his own.
I mean, dude, 17.5 means damn near 20% of the time, 17% of the time. So once every 5-6 plays, Caleb Williams is getting sacked, throwing a pick, or fumbling the football. That's insane.
You can't win like that.
Yeah. And
again, the idea is wins aren't a quarterback stat. It's a team
Yeah.
game. But losses, quarterbacks can single-handedly lose a game.
Yeah.
We saw it in the playoffs like 3 or 4 times this year.
And I think Kyle and Sean Payton both think of quarterbacks very similarly because my side project was okay. What's Brock's Sean Payton score? What was Trey Lance's Sean Payton score? What was Mac Jones's Sean Payton score? And obviously, none of them were as good as Bo Nix's. Actually, no. Mac Jones, Sean Payton score for his career in college was better than Bo Nix's career Sean Payton score in college. Sean Payton, if you read the article, only looked at his 2 years at Oregon. That's why his score is like a 2.3 or something. It's something absurd. But even with Brock Purdy had, because Sean Payton's big thing, like his claim to fame, besides Drew Brees, obviously, is he was one of the few that wanted Patrick Mahomes. You know who has a very similar Sean Payton score to Patrick Mahomes, right?
Who?
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. Yep.
So out in Sean Payton's book of quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy would have been hand in hand on his draft board.
Again, he looks at this as like proof of processing. So this is last year's leaders in the NFL by Sean Payton's metrics. And number 1 was Josh Allen, the MVP. I think what's so interesting about Josh Allen for the last few years, not only is he a big playmaker who can, throw an 80-yard bomb or run for 80 yards, but he really protects the football better than anyone else. And he doesn't take a lot of sacks. What a great player. What a great, he might be the best quarterback he might be better than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, nothing against Patrick Mahomes, great player, but I feel like he gets the Andy Reid bounce. Every quarterback's better with Andy Reid. What if Josh Allen was Andy Reid's quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes has been legitimately average the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He has not been that good. He is not even right now. He's not even like currently. I don't even think he's a top 3 quarterback.
He's been good in the clutch though, and he's been a big reason they've won so many games. It's not just
in the clutch. All right, he got booty blasted in the Super Bowl.
Brock Purdy in the clutch. I mean, who can be that?
I mean,
Love really high on this list. Bo Nix consistently high on this list. Lamar.
Jordan Love's the one that confuses me how he's high on this list.
Brock Purdy was pretty mid last year. He was right, but so was Burrow. That's kind of interesting.
Like, didn't Jordan Love just throw a ton of picks last year?
You know who's ahead of Brock on this list? Mac Jones. Last year. Mac Jones on the Jaguars had fewer negative plays than Brock Purdy on the 49ers last year. What's that about?
Mac Jones?
Mac Jones, 8.3. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Telling you, man, Mac Jones may not be as good as Brock because Brock is so mobile and Mac is so not. But in terms of processing, man, I've been super impressed with Mac. I think he processes very quickly, and I think his arm is good. Not like Justin Herbert, but I think it's good. I think he's a good player, man. At minimum, they have a backup that they can win with.
Yeah, I mean,
because my question with him is like, is he going to get sacked a bunch of times during real games because he's slow? But it seems like the answer is no. Not in college, not in Jacksonville, not in New England. Like, he processes quickly and gets the ball out of his hands, as opposed to Purdy, who last year started holding the ball a little bit longer.
That's why I like what they did with the lowlights.
Yeah.
To Brock Purdy, like showing him his lowlights and like, dude, you gotta stop. Like,
yep.
But you know what's funny is the quarterback Sean Payton hated. Look how far down on the list he is.
Caleb. Oh my goodness.
Russell.
Look at these guys.
Russell Wilson.
Will Levis, goodbye. Deshaun Watson, my goodness. Gardner Minshew, awful. Drake May, overhyped. Jameis Winston. Caleb Williams, interesting. Jalen Hurts. See, that's interesting. And it's not picks with Jalen Hurts. It's fumbles and sacks.
Yeah.
And I think what you could say is Jalen Hurts does do a lot, and he is very important to them, but he doesn't really process that fast.
Jalen Hurts is not. He would. I don't understand this love for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts would not be a starter on most NFL teams
because he played great in 2 Super Bowls. You got to give him credit for that.
He did. He played great.
He's great.
Him and his team played phenomenal in those 2 Super Bowls.
But I don't think Sean Payton would want him.
No,
No, I don't think you want him at all.
I don't think 25 out of 32 NFL.
I think he thinks Bo Nix is better than Jalen Hurts right now.
I would agree.
I do think he would want Brock Purdy.
I do agree with that as well. I think he'd
Let's
love
keep going up this
Actually,
list. Anthony
he's talked
Richardson.
about Sean Payton's talked about Brock Purdy and gushes over Brock Purdy. He thinks Brock Purdy's great.
Stroud and Geno were high on this list last year. Maybe the offensive line had something to do with it, but still, it's not like.
Oh yeah, and that's
Brock
an
has a great
important
O-line.
thing that people need to remember in this Sean Payton method. So he purposefully does not consider how bad your offensive line is,
Right?
Because he said in his words that it is more impressive if you have one of these scores lower with the bad offensive line. Because again, that means you're not taking negative plays.
And it's like you're deciphering the defense pre-snap. Yeah. You're making adjustments pre-snap. You're just processing super fast.
You know, the biggest
That's what Drew Brees did. That's what Peyton Manning did.
The biggest shocker for me is how high Trevor Lawrence is, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, he's the biggest surprise out of anyone on this list, because
the Jaguars could be a lot like the Jets, where like quarterbacks just suck there, and then Mac Jones leaves and it's like, oh no, he's actually pretty good. Trevor Lawrence eventually leaves. It's like, oh no, he was the first pick in the draft for a reason. You put Trevor Lawrence on the Rams, I bet he'd look great.
Yeah, Sam Darnold still sucks.
Isn't that interesting? Sam Darnold in that great season where he put up all those great numbers was still a negative play waiting to happen, even in his best moment.
And
that's so interesting, dude. And that's why he's bounced around, and that's why people don't take the Seahawks seriously.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
Even Baker.
Yeah, I mean, Baker is like Baker reminds me of like an old school gunslinger, like a Brett Favre, but he obviously, I'm not saying he has Brett Favre.
Yeah, I agree. But like, even Jaden Daniels, I thought Jaden Daniels was super safe last year. Guess not.
If you notice, like with him and Jalen and a few other mobile quarterbacks, they're pretty low, because you have to remember, if they're running around or they take like an option per se, and their option, they get tackled behind the line of scrimmage, that is technically a sack.
Yep.
So
that's interesting. That's interesting.
And I think that's also why Jalen Hurts is lower, is because technically he was sacked more often than, a quarterback like, Lamar does options, but not as frequently as quarterback like Jaden or Jalen.
I want to look at a couple more people. Tua high up right there with Mac Jones, a couple Alabama products, and then Stafford and Kyler. I still maintain that Kyler is essentially a good quarterback, and Arizona might be the worst organization in football. They've been improving slowly. So I love Kyler. I still think the Cardinals are a team the Niners have to contend with. They lost to the Cardinals twice last year, and the Cardinals really improved their defense this year. I don't know. We'll see if Kyler can ever put it together. But I think there's signs that he could be one of these guys who really improves once he leaves that freaking organization. My
issue with Kyler Murray, and I've noticed this his rookie year, because I was a huge fan of all the Oklahoma guys that came out under Lincoln Riley. Kyler's issue, even going back to Cliff Kingsbury, because we just saw it with Cliff Kingsbury, and that's what I was waiting for. I was like, the second half of seasons, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray were the fall-off kings.
Yep.
Cliff Kingsbury did not fall off last season.
That's
with
true.
Jaden Daniels. Sure, could he have gone to Lincoln Riley and fixed those issues? Yes. Kyler has not fixed the issue, though.
He hasn't.
He'll come out of the gate balling. He'll light people up like, oh, yeah, Kyler Murray's back. And then he kind of just peters off.
Okay, one more guy. Jordan Love being this high. I think everyone thought he had a real down year last year. But, I mean, he's thrown – there aren't that many quarterbacks who've thrown more touchdown passes over the last two seasons than him. A few, 5 or 6 have. And for him to be this low on – I mean, he doesn't take sacks. That's the deal. He threw a few too many picks last year, but he doesn't take sacks. He might be a guy who's got a bright future, Jordan. And he's on my dynasty team, so I'm hoping.
I don't like Jordan Love. I think he throws the ball away way too often. Like, that's why because if you look at his completion percentage, because that's not included in the score, but that is something he looks at. His completion percentage last year was 63%. Now, if this was 2005, that would be great.
Right.
Right now, that is not great, especially with.
So he's playing it safe. He's not necessarily processing super quickly.
Yeah, he instead of the sacks,
and that's what Derek Carr was high on the list too, but he throws the ball away.
Yeah, and again, I would rather you throw the ball away than take a sack for sure. But with Jordan Love, my kind of hesitation with him is I've never really thought he was that good of a processor. He has a lot of
Fair.
he reminds me of Brett Favre. Like if I had to compare him, like everyone compares him to Aaron Rodgers. My opinion is Brett Favre. He loves throwing it into coverage. He loves just letting it rip. And yeah, he's a volume. He's like a volume. He's like the Bradley Beal of the NFL. He's a volume shooter.
All day, every day. Kim says Kyler kicked Brock in the Niners' ass.
We suck against mobile quarterbacks, so yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, I blame Nick Bosa. Trade him and go in. We got you already. All right, we got one more. Bad news for the Rams. So here's the thing about the Rams. Their quarterback is 37 years old. I am also 37 years old. Here's the thing about being 37. Things just hurt sometimes, and you don't know why or how to fix them. For me, it is my back. It feels great right now. Sometimes I wake up and it feels awful. And it's like sciatica. It feels like there's a nerve being pinched, and it'll linger for 2, 3, 4 weeks sometimes. And I do all the things, and I do all the workouts, and it's just, it's kind of the side effect of being 37.
Yeah.
So now he's 37, Matthew Stafford, and guess what? Bad back, bulging disc, and he had a epidural something. Doesn't sound great. It sounds like something that could flare up at any freaking time and cost him a month. So here we go, Jimmy G, Rams quarterback. They're going to win the division, right? Jimmy G is going to prove it. He was the guy.
So, okay. This kind of it's weird that this is coming out now, because do you remember like it was a week or two ago where that rumor came about that the Rams are targeting Arch Manning as like their quarterback of the future? There's like a whole rumor that like, yeah, Sean McVay's obsessed with Arch Manning. That's the guy he wants after Stafford is Arch Manning. And so like, I don't know if there was anything to that. Like, I don't know if like that was just BS or not, but you got to think that if Stafford's having disc issues and they probably have known about it, and he's looking at younger quarterbacks, maybe they're just chalking it. They are going to put in Jimmy, and like Devontae's like, oh yeah, me and Jimmy are best friends now. It's like, huh?
Doesn't it feel like a CMC situation from last year? I mean, Stafford pushed so hard for this extension. Why? CMC last year too, and then he gets it, and it's like, by the way, this is totally unrelated. I'm hurt.
Remember 2 years ago with Stafford, they thought he was going to retire because of his neck or his back, or something like that.
His neck and his back.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like Stafford's he's injured. He's just injury prone. I think they wanted
once
to
you start having this issue, I don't feel like it's going to go away. You're 37, a professional athlete. Like, this is going to hurt. You're going to feel this probably off and on the rest of your life.
I'll tell you right now, Nick's going to rip him to the ground, and that disc ain't feeling too good anymore.
That's look, all I ask for. No, I ask for a lot, but one of the things I ask for is that Jimmy Garoppolo starts a game against the Niners. Because here's the thing: if Jimmy starts and gets whooped, I would be amused. But if Jimmy starts and wins, I would also be amused. So I feel like it's one of these games where it's a win-win for everyone.
I wish Jimmy had like Baker's attitude, where he'd like, if he won, he'd just like get in Kyle's face and just start like talking.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Baker would do that.
Baker would do it all. But I would love, I mean, obviously, because I think we would curb stomp him, but I would love to see Jimmy versus the Niners. Oh my God, could you imagine?
Of all the fireable offenses on Kyle Shanahan's resume, losing to Jimmy would be up there, man.
Jimmy versus Kyle for first seed in the NFC West. Oh my God.
It would just be too good. So Jimmy is the quarterback for the Rams all season, and then somehow Trey being the quarterback for the Chargers all season. You know, I think it would be great.
Or NFC Championship game, Jimmy versus Brock. Trey Lance in the Super Bowl at the Chargers waiting.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm in a dynasty league with Jesse Naylor and Marco Martinez and some other guys, and I haven't done fantasy football in 15 years. It's my first dynasty league ever. We drafted a month ago, which pissed me off to begin with, because you don't know who's going to get hurt.
Yeah,
so I drafted. Here's my quarterbacks: Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was hanging around. I'm like, man, I'll just grab him and I'll replace him in a year anyway. But like now he's hurt, and I'm worried. So if I were to have to get rid of Stafford, I was thinking I could go get Jimmy, but Jimmy kind of sucks. So I was thinking, what if I went and got Mac at some point, stash him? I got Jalen Milroe also. I got Milroe on my team.
You
Could
know,
get Mac.
fantasy's about you only get points if they play, right?
Well, he's good, but it's a stash. You know what I'm saying? Because Mac could be a starting quarterback in a year's time and be killing it. And then I saw it because Jimmy has no upside. He might play and he'll suck.
I mean, also, even Jimmy's good games are not fantasy.
No, it's like 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 230 yards. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you just go for like, one of the like a rookie, stash one of those? That's what I do in
Jalen
fantasy.
Milrow. I did.
Oh yeah. No, I mean one that's gonna like play.
No, I think Mac Jones is the move. Or Trey Lance. I might have to go get Trey Lance.
So you'll have Herbert and then be like,
speaking of Trey Lance, will you tell the good people that were watching this show what Trey Lance's Sean Payton score was in college?
Yes. Trey Lance's Sean Payton score in college was a 4.9. He would have drafted him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If he had pick number 3, he would have drafted Trey Lance over Mac Jones.
Yeah. And I bet you Justin Fields didn't have a 4.9 because he always had issues taking sacks in college.
Mac Jones had a 4.2.
There you go.
So he had a better.
I'm telling you, man, Mac Jones is a good quarterback. And the Niners really.
So I have a question for you because you were saying all offseason that you think the Rams are the best team in the division. Now.
Well, Stafford is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
But now, who is? This is
definitely Arizona's division to lose.
Oh
I'd
my
have to say. what? They got Calais Campbell. They got Josh Sweat. Have you seen that murderer's row on that D line? It's huge. Let's look at Arizona for a second.
Grant isn't a Niner fan. He hates the 49ers. I can't protect you.
I'm just an Arizona Cardinals fan. They're just a great organization. They know what they're doing.
Not even people in Arizona are Arizona Cardinals.
That's why I like them so much, because no one likes them. Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson, Walter Nolan. So many guys, dude. Josh Sweat. Wow. Will Johnson. Wow. Will Johnson?
Actually, he has been having a crazy camp, apparently.
Has he?
Yeah. Apparently, he has been locking everyone up.
I'm telling you.
Which I wanted him on the Niners. I wanted him so bad when he was falling.
Also, they're gonna ride Kyler till the wheels fall off this year. Last year he ran 70. What am I talking about? I'm looking at Brock Purdy. Let me stop looking at Brock Purdy.
I also don't like Gannon. I don't think he's.
I like Gannon.
Coach. I don't think he's good. I think he's kind of.
I think you just don't like his face.
I just don't like him as a person. I think
as a person, his character. Okay, so last year Kyler Murray ran the ball 78 times for 570 yards. I bet you this year he runs the ball 150 times for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Who's their backup quarterback if Kyler gets hurt? You know what? It is impressive how durable little Kyler has been. He has gotten
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh yeah, they're cooked.
Oh yeah,
this is so easily Niners division. We're competing against Sam Darnold, Jimmy Garoppolo. Wow, 2 backups, and then Kyler still.
I feel like once Mac Jones takes the job, the Niners will take off. But
oh my god. I mean, do you think the Niners see Mac Jones?
If Brock Purdy loses to Jimmy Garoppolo, it's over.
Do you think the Niners coaching staff or front office sees Mac Jones popping off and dude?
Yes. Yes, I do. 100%. Yes, I do. I bet you that the whole organization wasn't in lockstep about giving up that much money. And they felt like, okay, we have to. But then Mac Jones comes in and it's like, man, it's exactly what we thought it would look like. Damn. It's exactly what we thought it would look like.
Do we really have a gnarly handful of highlights from Brock Purdy's playmaking ability? Because that's what he has on Mac Jones, right? Is he can make plays. The best one was against Seattle when we were up
the one that Ayuk dropped.
So his biggest highlight didn't even count. It was a drop. And so other than that, it's the other big.
Those are his coolest plays when he spins out of the pocket and then holds the ball and runs around for a long time.
Yeah.
But do you really want him doing that? Is he going to make a living like that?
Is the upside really that worth it? Because if you think about it, right, So you got that one, and then you have the Packers one, but that was really a Jawan highlight. That wasn't even like it was a Purdy highlight, but it wasn't a Purdy highlight.
Yep.
So, like, dude, I mean, we'll probably see Mac Jones. He's going to play in preseason for sure.
It's going to be
right?
Jimmy Garoppolo versus Mac Jones, the NFC Championship game. Mac's going to win, and then it's going to be Mac versus Trey in the Super Bowl.
Mac's going to play in preseason, right?
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to play the whole game because, like, how much can Carter Bradley play? He's been on the team for a week.
I still don't even know who that is. I have never, ever heard of Carter Bradley ever in my life.
He was on the Raiders last year.
You know how bad you have to be to have not been able to start on the Raiders last year?
So he played at Toledo and South Alabama. Okay.
You know how bad you have to be to play quarterback at Toledo and South Alabama and not start on the Raiders last year?
He's 213 pounds. He was in college for about 17 years. He was in the Raiders last year, and now he's in the minors.
Hashtag justice for Mordecai. There's no reason that guy should.
No, I just want to say something that Tanner Mordecai, look, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but he was just not good. He was. I could go through and get his numbers. They were horrendous. So bad. The only guy throwing incomplete. I mean, Brock and Mac don't miss. And then you got Tanner, like YOLO Tanner over here being like, sorry. He kind of stuck out.
Do you think Gus Bradley's going to allow his son to get cut when Curtis Rourke, the ghost?
Absolutely not. He's going to make the team. No, they shouldn't. He should not make the team. They do not need to keep 3 quarterbacks on their 53-man roster. They have 2 quarterbacks. They have 2 NFL quarterbacks.
I'll tell you
if they keep Carter Bradley, that's
a fire.
That would be the nepotism I would have a problem with.
I think they need to make a big trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. Bring him back.
Are you kidding? The price tag just went through the roof.
And then go one last dance, do a documentary.
What if you think they could trade for Trey?
I think they would give Trey for pocket lint and a nickel if you really.
I think they might want Trey back. Did you hear? I asked Kyle Shanahan if he was impressed, and he said he's rooting for Trey. So happy.
Oh, so he does want him back. Oh my gosh! Wait, he's rooting. I haven't heard him say
essentially
he's rooting for Brock. I haven't heard him say he's rooting for Brock. He even told Brock before contract negotiations, like, listen, you're going to hear them tell you that I said you suck and you're not that good. I just want you to know that I do think you're kind of good.
Do you think that Brian Greasy quit because he heard that Tanner Mordecai probably wasn't going to make the team, and he was like, you know what?
Easily. That was his. That was his. Yeah. I think Brian Greasy quit because he heard what Brock's getting paid, and then he looked at his paycheck and he's like, wait, what? This doesn't add up.
Do you think Brian Greasy is secretly holding out for more money?
Could you imagine? Brian Greasy wanting to suit up. Oh, man.
Anyway, that's the show. Tomorrow's, I feel like, a moment of truth for this Nick Bosa thing. If he's there, then I guess it doesn't matter that he missed. It doesn't matter that he missed 4 days. But if he's not, then I need answers. What is going on?
Imagine they just don't want to say it. And you're like, Kyle, what's going on? They're like, it's a hamstring, just like every other person at training camps.
Does Nick want more money, Kyle?
That's what you should ask. Like, is Nick holding in? You could just tell us. Like, no, it's a calf injury.
He said he's not hurt. He doesn't look hurt. He's over there.
It's a calf
Last time
injury.
we saw him, he was beating your right tackle for 18 sacks in a day. Seemed like he was sort of angling for something.
Maybe Kyle
Williams has gotten better, but he winning his Colton and got sacks.
Maybe he keeps like beating Trent and McKivitz so bad that Kyle's like, Nick, bro, you got to take a break. Like, we need to build these guys' confidence up a little bit. We need them to
Which position coach on the Niners do you think is under the most pressure this year?
Solid or Kyle?
Position coach. Position coach.
I would say the D line coach.
That's true. He's up there. He's got to make those guys work. What about the quarterback coach? Mick Lombardi. What if Brock doesn't play well this year? It'd be so easy to fire Mick. No offense to Mick, but it's like,
I mean, yeah, sure.
I just feel like he's on the chopping block. If something goes wrong with Brock, they're not going to hold Brock responsible. They're not going to hold Kyle responsible. They're not going to hold Clay Kubiak responsible.
They will. I'll tell you right now, if Brock sucks this year, Kyle's fired. I don't see Kyle keeping his job if Brock is the reason. Like, say again, I've said this. If Salah's defense performs and the holdback is the quarterback, they are firing Kyle. And I would not doubt they just promote Salah. Because there is no.
But what if Brock struggles and then Mac Jones plays and he's really good?
then they're gonna cut. I said that. Remember with the 1 year out, I think they're gonna get rid of Purdy and draft one.
What they'll say, they'll be like, "Sure, we gave Brock $53 million a year, but let's just pretend we gave that contract to Mac Jones."
Yeah,
that's what they did with the Trey Lance thing, right? Sure, we wasted all this capital on Trey, but let's just pretend we used it on Mac, on Brock. What's the difference?
Yeah, and my guess is I'm like, well, that's why we protected ourselves with a 1 year out. Thank God we have Parag and John Lynch doing the best they've ever done. They're the best in the game, and now we have Mac Jones. We're really excited about.
When Mac Jones becomes a Niners starting quarterback, do you think he'll change as a person, or do you think he'll still be the same Mac Jones we've come to love?
You know what I like about Mac is because he's got that swag about him, right? Like he's not afraid to gritty. He's not afraid to do all those fun.
Brock's a little more buttoned up, right?
Yeah, and dude, I wish so bad Brock would be like Phillip Rivers, like screaming in people's face. Like you could still be like the nice country boy, but like do it Phillip Rivers style where you're screaming in people's face.
Gosh darn it!
Yeah, like he's like, "That's a touchdown," and then the guy's like, "Don't scream in my face," and he screams in his face anyways.
Propa says the problem I have with building toward 2026 is CMC and Kittle, CMC, and Trent will be even older. No guarantee those guys are elite this year, let alone next year. I agree. And I feel like the only reason that you're doing this is because you spent so much money on Purdy and Ayuk.
Yeah.
And I think they definitely regret the Purdy contract and they're the Ayuk contract, and they're one injury away to Purdy and a good game from Mac Jones from officially regretting that contract as well.
I'm telling you right now, CMC is not. I would be shocked if CMC is a massive focal point of this offense. I do not think CMC is going to be as big of a deal on our team. And I think fans need to prepare themselves for that because there's no way Kyle's banking on our future plan is our 30-year-old running back continuing to be elite in offensive player of the year for the next 3 years. That would be fireable offense. There's a lot of fireable
just based on training camp, the guy he's banking on being elite this year is Ricky.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean,
but that's the guy he wants to feature. He's 24, 20.
Oh. Well, we lost him for a minute, boys. But yes, I agree. I think Ricky Pearsall definitely has to be that guy. And
25, he's in his athletic peak.
Oh.
Tyler.
Yep, you're back.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know either.
Anyway, I think that means the show is over. Sorry about that, everyone. Thanks for watching, though. I'll be back. Tomorrow's training camp. Let's see if I'm holding. I might hold in. We'll see. But I'll be there. I might show up and then not do any work. No, I'm here. I want you guys to know I'm here, but I'm not freaking telling you what happened.
That's what I'm saying.
See you guys.